Bitcoin trying to make a little bit of a run for it on this Christmas Eve. What is stronger, Bitcoin resistance or support, the bears or the bulls? In this video, we're going to look into the short-term charts and really talk about that next Bitcoin move. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit that subscribe and like on the way in. Merry Christmas Eve. Tomorrow, if you're watching this, Merry Christmas. God bless you all. An awesome day to celebrate the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ. God bless you. God bless your family. And let's jump into this Bitcoin video, everybody. Here we go. This is the hourly chart. I'm not going to show you a clip from yesterday. If you've seen yesterday's video, you know we were talking about this exact chart, and some interesting things have transpired on this hourly chart since then. Namely, Bitcoin broke the lower trend line of the pattern, right? This rising wedge. Real quick, before we talk about that, I do want to take a quick glance at the 6-hour chart. So on the 6-hour chart, one thing to note is this 6-hour candle, this red candle you see here. I charted this on an hourly. Basically, what was transpiring was from this swing low to this swing high, Bitcoin was coming back down and testing this key Fibonacci retracement area. And it really, I think I tweeted this area and I said, be concerned if support fails. And it did. Like, Bitcoin fell through. But what's interesting is it kind of came right back into it and even started closing above that Fibonacci support and then actually breaking back above. That's a really good sign for Bitcoin as we kind of hover right below this upper trend line of this falling channel that you see here. I do want to just point this out to you. On this falling channel, 26,000, a little bit over 26,000 in play. That's not the only $26,000 plus target that we have on these Bitcoin charts. We'll see another one in a couple minutes. And then to the downside, please keep in mind 19,000, just under $20,000 to the downside. If you don't want to hear about that, I don't know what to tell you. It's in play from a technical analysis perspective. It is what it is, everybody. So let's jump into the hourly chart. Let's talk about this. So here's what's going on. You know, Bitcoin had the swing low, right? And by the way, the swing low is like a perfect target hit out of this rising wedge. So the height of that just hit the target really nicely, the upper 21,000s. That was our first swing low. Second swing low, third swing low, clear just lower trend line, right? I could easily take this trend line and kind of move it to this new swing low and kind of chart it down here. We could do that, but we're not going to, because I really want to apply the rules of what we've been tracking, because it's a very clear trend line that Bitcoin fell below on the hourly chart. Remember, this is the hourly chart. This isn't going back that far. It's a few days right here. So what we're looking at right now is Bitcoin. It fell through the lower trend line. We know we have the targets in the 21,000s down here, right? And since then, Bitcoin has kind of just like fallen into this new rising channel and just kind of testing this trend line, which we really want to see. Anytime Bitcoin breaks out of a trend line, even if it's an upper trend line, you want to see it come back down and test, right? You want to see it test for support if it's breaking up so that you see continuation to the upside. And if it's coming down, you want to see it test for resistance if it's going to continue to the downside. So just because right now Bitcoin's in this rising pattern and Bitcoin price is going up a little, I'm not like overly bullish on the short-term charts just yet in terms of Bitcoin. You should also notice in terms of Bitcoin testing this trend line that is seeing resistance. We have our previous swing high to this swing low right here, and you can see Bitcoin testing that resistance as well and seeing very clear resistance right now on the hourly chart. So right now, the resistance area that we're really looking at is 23,000. Let's just call it, like, you know what? This trend line is so confluent with that, right around 23,850 or so. So 23,850 to that 786, 23,000, like 750. That's like $100 range is nothing. That's a huge area of resistance in the very, very short term. And we're talking like the next few hours, I guess, to see what Bitcoin does. And then the Fibonacci, the 618 of that Fibonacci down to 23,550, right? So, you know, Bitcoin very well could just trade sideways in this area. But what we're waiting for is to see what Bitcoin does, whether it's breaking out of the Fibonacci resistance, this green rectangle, or if it's testing once again this upper trend line. In a few hours, it could be testing up here, you know, 23,965, even $24,000 probably in the morning, right? Could be testing that area, but that doesn't mean that Bitcoin is bullish just yet. We really need a clear break through that trend line for that to happen. Otherwise, if there is continuation to the downside, that's 100% just sitting there. That target to the downside is still in play. That is the target under, $22,000 for Bitcoin. So something to be prepared for. To the upside, here's another breakout target to the upside. If Bitcoin does make a move back into this rising wedge, breaks out of it, we're looking at a 26,000 plus target for Bitcoin, just about 26,700 or so. So those are the bullish and bearish targets for Bitcoin. Right now, clear resistance on the very short term. It's what you'd want to track in terms of Bitcoin. Maybe some people are just seeing altcoins go up right now. They're seeing Bitcoin go up, and maybe they're just pulling the trigger and they're massively going long. I don't know. That wouldn't be me. If I were to go long on Bitcoin, I would wait a little bit to see how it interacts with this entire resistance area we just tracked. Now, going over to the daily chart, this is what both the 6-hour falling channel and these rising wedges on the hourly, this is what it looks like on the daily. Just a bunch of lines, right? But here's what we're looking at. In terms of Bitcoin right now, here's the rising channel, breakout target 26 plus, right? And then here is the falling channel target 26,000 plus. And here's the rising wedge target 26,000 plus. Now to the downside, there is this falling channel with a target to the downside under 20,000, right? We talk about that, and that's what it looks like. Now, what's interesting to me on this chart is a move to that area, and there's probably some people that are clicking out of this video because they don't want to talk about downside. Don't talk about downside, Dan. Talk about $30,000. So here's a 15% move for Bitcoin. Everybody. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's so normal for Bitcoin, a 15% move to the downside. That's not that much, right? And we're talking about retracement. We're talking about a little bit of a dip to a $20,000 area. Whoever thought? I mean, it was like weeks ago we were talking about, is Bitcoin ever going to break 20,000? Now we're talking about it as support, right? So just please keep that in mind if you don't like talking about dips. A lot of people think it's going to keep going. It may keep going, but I just want to point out that target area to you. What's interesting about that area to me is it is also a Fibonacci retracement. Now on a really zoomed out chart, and these are the important ones to me. These zoomed in ones are kind of like the short-term moves. Let's see what Bitcoin does. I'm curious to see what direction Bitcoin might be going. These ones are like the action areas for me. And what it looks like is that last swing low of consolidation just not that long ago, December 11th, to our most previous swing high. And we have that Fibonacci support area now, and it is perfectly confluent really with a couple things, right? It's the breakout target of this falling channel, right? So right around $20,000 or so. And then it's also right above the 50-day moving average, just that key area we always look for Bitcoin to consolidate into. And it has been extremely overextended from that area for a while now, going back to October. Right here, you can see Bitcoin kind of cruised into it a little bit. That's what we want to see. And you might get Bitcoin just slowly consolidating, maybe within this channel, to that as the 50-day moving average gets pulled up into it, right? Before continuation. Do you see the patience that might be involved here? But these are our targets. These things take time to play out. So it's not like immediately going to happen overnight. So please have some patience. But on the very short term, the hourly chart, this is what we're watching. The immediate resistance that just keeps happening at this trend line that Bitcoin already fell out of. And then now this Fibonacci resistance. And you can see Bitcoin just trading a red hourly candle right now. What will transpire? Will Bitcoin come down? Will it start breaking out of this trend, right? Kind of come down on its way down to this target down here in the 21,000s. Be patient for that. Time will tell. And also see if Bitcoin can break this resistance. It could have a bullish next couple of days, but we just have to track it, right? I can't tell you what's going to happen. So weekly chart, everybody. I just like looking at the weekly chart. I don't have too much to say about it other than it looks ridiculous. And this weekly candle, even look at the upward buying pressure of Bitcoin. A week ago, 2 weeks ago, I would have said, I won't. It'll be crazy if we see bullish continuation, right? Remember, Bitcoin overbought. I said I didn't think we'd keep going up. I said, it's like, how could we not have a dip now? We're going up, right? And it's been going up. We're getting a little bit of just resistance on these two weeklies, But at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin just keeps going. We're witnessing a supply shock factor on the charts, right? So I will enjoy that ride if it happens. But I wanted to share with you a quick short-term technical analysis. That's what it looks like on the hourly chart. A lot of short-term resistance. Let's see what Bitcoin does. But again, the weekly just looking so solid. We have that 20-week moving average, this green line being pulled into those bull market doors right now. And just so cool to see Bitcoin with such good separation from those bull market doors. There's just room for consolidation if Bitcoin needs to, right? Before continuing to the upside. Have some patience on the macro charts, everybody, and enjoy this Bitcoin market, because we are in the bull market now. So appreciate all you cruising by. Again, Merry Christmas. God bless you. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.